Welcome to Ecomm, Cowboy. This is D2C's daily show where we talk what's now and next in e-commerce so marketers and operators like you can survive and thrive. It is Monday, January 12th, 2026. Don't have the Monday blues. It's too nice and too pretty. The internet's too open and free and ready for profit to be made for us to have a frown on our face. There's too much news that happened over the weekend. We're brought to you by our partners Postscript and AMP. We're going to get into all of it. Shopify, Google co-developed a universal protocol so AI agents can buy everywhere and anywhere, and they made it open and available for everyone, even if you're not on Shopify. Nike made world history again. That's nice. Twice in 1 week, not bad. Dan McCormick, founder of Create, released a year-end review for us. We're going to talk about that. And we've got two great guests for you today. NotZaneAgain, Zain Ali, co-founder of Zenith Agency, famous meme maker, but he's more than that. He's a scaler of TikTok shops. Yes, he is. He's going to be here. As well as Josh Suggs, the Gary V of Street Talk interviews. He's walking 20 miles a day in New York City. He's going to join us. We're going to talk about what he's doing. As always, I am joined by my partner in crime, Colin Doherty. Colin, get in here.
What is up?
Welcome back. Weekend treat you all right?
I'm fired up right now.
I'm fired up right now.
Hit the A gap.
I'm ready to hit the A gap. I got a full night's sleep. Last week was me on 3 to 4 hours of sleep a night. I got a full night's sleep last night, and I'm caffeined up to the hilt, and we got a big guest here with us. Tell us who's coming. Tell us who's coming in here, Colin.
We got Zain coming. This is gonna be super exciting. He knows basically all about TikTok shops from A to Z. He is one of the best meme makers I think I've ever seen on Twitter. It is genuinely hilarious to follow him. I would highly recommend following him if you don't.
He's a must follow.
He's a must follow. And also he's a must follow if you are a brand trying to go from 0 to 1 on TikTok shop, which is what we've talked about previously. This is a new frontier for brands. They got to get on TikTok shop. They got to get some extra dollars coming in from TikTok. So I'm excited for him. I'm pumped.
The infamous, not Zain again. Everybody give him a big warm welcome. Get in here, Zain. You get inside of this show.
Hey, dude, what a killer
There
intro.
we go. There we go. We had to welcome you, big dog. You know, this is my first time for us to talk live and in living color, but I've been following those memes and those jokes for many months. Actually, I figured out I wasn't following you this morning, but I see you everywhere and anywhere all day, every day. So welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. Zain, tell us, when it comes to going from 0 to 1 on TikTok shop, we all want to do it. We all do. And I've heard a few things, though, that have given me or others pause at times. You know, you hear this thing called halo effect. You know, what we do on TikTok is going to give us halo effect in other places. But sometimes that gives us concern. Well, am I going to make any dollars on TikTok shop? Is there any margin there for me in platform? Give us your status of TikTok shop as you see the landscape in total. What's going on there for brands in general? And do you see significant opportunity even more in 2026 than there was in 2025?
Yeah, for sure. I think people are always kind of scared by like the attribution. Like you said, if you're just relying on a halo effect and you just feel like you're burning dollars and you just don't know if it's working, like nobody wants to be in that position. I would say for TikTok shop, there's still like certain categories where it's, you know, amazing. Like if you're doing health and wellness, you're doing supplements, you're doing something where you don't have to be first order profitable, you have a good LTV. It's a great place to just get brand awareness, top of funnel, that kind of thing. If you're in like a low price point, like you're in $20, $30 like impulse price point, then it's great for shop. I would just stay away if you're like more premium price point, you're more luxury, you're over 60, 70, 80 bucks, then it might not make as much sense. If you're in a category that's just isn't doing that well on TikTok shop, you're in like jewelry or something like that, that's not like a heavy hitter on TikTok shop, I would probably wait to hop on. But yeah, I still think there's a ton of opportunity there, especially if you're like a supplement brand, like gummies, like anything that's like more just like higher margin, where you have more to play with, where you can give 20% to creators, you can give TikTok Shop at 6% fee, you can spend on ads and still be like at least break even or like a little bit profitable. And then you have, like you said, that spillover to Amazon, where you can gain that ranking in Amazon. You have creatives that you can then run on Meta, and Meta you have like better AOV, you own the customer data, you can get more LTV out of it. That's what I usually recommend. It's like, if you're on Amazon, then it makes a lot more sense, because you can actually capture that halo effect versus it just being some like nebulous thing that you're just like preying on.
Zain, I think a lot when people are launching Facebook ads, brands, they look for that initial brand inspo. They're looking for those 2 to 3 to 5 accounts where they can jump into the ad library and kind of look for those ads and figure out, okay, I'd love to do some inspiration and kind of copy and do my own and steal from them. Are there any brands that you see on TikTok Shop where you're like, these are the 3 to 5 must follow brands on TikTok Shop that are doing the best stuff right now?
Yeah, for sure. I think like when it comes to clothing, it's like the number one is like Comfort. Like that's kind of the poster child for TikTok Shops. Like if you're doing clothing and you want to get an idea of like, okay, how do you structure it? How many creators you need? What kind of scripts? Like Comfort's doing like 10 million a month on TikTok Shop. They're kind of crushing it. They're probably the big one in apparel. And then for health and wellness and like beauty, there's a tons of different things that you can look at. For beauty, like Dr. Malaxin, Medicube, they're both doing over 10 million a month on TikTok Shop, which is crazy. And then for like health and wellness, you have like micro ingredients, you have Goalie, you have Physician's Choice. Those are doing like respectively like 6 million. I think Goalie was like 4 million. Physician's Choice is at like 2 million a month. So there's like a couple different like I guess like spy tools is probably the best way to call them, that can just, you'll be able to pull not only like the sales, but also like top winning videos, the number of creators, how much they're doing on live streaming versus doing like short videos. So there's a ton of information out there. It's just really getting on and starting seeding out samples, sending samples to creators, giving it a shot, see what products are picking up, and just like doubling down on what's working.
Zain, I see TikTok Shop experts like yourself and Brian Bloom and others across the interwebs. They've always got these fancy screenshots, and you can quote numbers like Comfort's doing 10 million per month on TikTok Shop. Tell me about these spy tools. Where can we see that? As a marketer, I want to know that kind of stuff. I want access to that. Is that native to the platform, or are they in these spy tools? Where do you get that information?
Yeah, so it's not native to the platform, like, because they're going to be careful about like sharing like brands numbers. But there's a couple different tools. One is like Fastmoss. They pull in like all that data. Another one's called Kalo data. It's like if you see screenshots, like 90% chance it's coming from one of those two platforms. And I don't think they have like API access, but they have a decent amount of access, and they're scraping. So like we've compared our client numbers to what you can see on Kalo data or Fastmoss, and it's like 80-90% accurate. So take it with a grain of salt, but it's directionally it's correct.
Go ahead, Colin.
I was just going to say, so I would imagine you're probably pretty plugged in with everything TikTok's doing and all of that. Do you see anything kind of that excites you within the TikTok platform for 2026? It doesn't have to be, just the TikTok shops, but anything that maybe you got some access to big features that we don't know about. You don't have to quite say what it is, but anything that they're kind of sprinkling out for this new year where it's like, oh, this is going to be kind of a game breaker. Anything you're fired up about?
Don't hold back, Zain. Don't hold back on us.
Give us the juice.
Well, I'll say like what was most exciting recently was like, one, they finally squared away the whole TikTok ban. So just like a month or two ago, they finally did the U.S. sales. So it's like this year we're not worrying about like, hey, what's going to happen? Is Trump going to kick the ball down the road on the ban? Are they possibly going to get banned? That's finally sorted. Subscribe and Save has gone live for like pretty much every seller. So that's cool for health and wellness. We're seeing like 15-20% of orders being on Sub and Save. For this year, what they've really teased is like they've been saying like, okay, now we got some money like injected into the business, right? Because we sold a good portion of it to a US buyer. So like now they have money to spend in terms of like incentives. So what we would hope to see is like when TikTok Shop first started off, and a lot of those brands that you were seeing, they were getting tons of subsidies from TikTok. Like TikTok was paying for the free shipping, TikTok was paying for discounts, things like that. So we'd love to see more of that come back. They've teased it now. Like, are they actually going to do it? It's like a different story. But what they have been offering is for new brands, like they've been giving like discounted fees. So instead of giving TikTok Shop 6% fees, they'll actually give you like 4% or 2% depending on the size of the brand. So they have a huge initiative this year, just like onboard as many 8 and 9 figure brands as possible. So if you're a brand interested in joining, like this is the time where you could probably negotiate like the best fees and get the best like white glove support, where they have like 3 or 4 people from TikTok helping you set up your seller center, helping you get onboarded, helping connect you with an agency. But yeah, not anything like too crazy roadmap wise, but it's always nice to see like, okay, TikTok has some like funds to play with, because so much of like the early experience of TikTok Shop and the early success was just very heavily subsidized.
More incentives, por favor. TikTok, rain them down upon us. The more incentives, the better, right? It makes me feel great. If you want to incentivize my getting on the platform, please. So Zain, sounds like below $65 average order value, certain categories winning more than others, supplement, apparel, maybe not jewelry, maybe not truly luxury items, etc. It sounds like there's a kind of target or a box right now that's really winning inside of TikTok. Maybe there's some outliers outside of that, but that's the target that you've seen win most often. Is that fair?
Yeah, for sure. It's like, is it just a much younger platform? Like a lot of Gen Z, a lot of millennials, they don't have the kind of budget that you would get from like running meta ads. It's not like the boomer audience. It's not somebody that can just pull out their wallet and spend like $100, $150 on one order, no problem. The AOV is just much lower. So people are on there. It's more of discoverability, where they see some kind of gummy or they see some kind of snack, some kind of food and beverage product that like they would love to try for the first time. And they see the video and the creator does a really good job of like selling it, creating FOMO. They're trying it on camera. They're like, wow, this is the best thing I've ever eaten before. The link's right there. So they'll tap on it. If it's like $20, $30, it's not, it's not going to break the bank. They're pretty open to trying it and just like impulse buying it. They're not going to buy like a 20, 30 pack when it's their first, experience with the brand. So it's very much like new to brand customers. It's very much like impulse price point that gets them in the door. But then once they discover your brand, they like the product, you have a repurchase rate of like 30, 40%, whatever it is. They might come back and buy on TikTok Shop, or they might come back and buy on Amazon. They might buy on your website. If they buy it on Amazon, they might just search like a generic keyword term. Like let's say they just Google, or they just search on Amazon creatine gummies or whatever it is. And then they scroll until they find the product that they tried. They click, they buy. Now Amazon thinks you're like the number one search term for creatine gummies. You start ranking higher. You see your Amazon sales take off. That's kind of the playbook, where it's like, okay, you're getting, you're not making a ton of money on TikTok Shop. The AOV is not super high, but these are customers who've never heard of you before. And then once they enter the pipeline, then you have the opportunity that you can, continue selling to those customers, whether it's on TikTok Shop, whether it's on a different channel. And then it's just, you can really rapidly grow like the brand awareness in ways that like other platforms are just not going to be that top of funnel.
And maybe TikTok Shop gift cards just allow us to do even more there. Maybe comfort goes from 10 million per month to 20. Who knows? Who knows in this year? Zain, while you're here, we need to ask you. I cannot figure out if you are Fermat's greatest friend or greatest foe. I can't figure it out. I know you're bringing a lot of eyeballs to them. I love Fermat. I think Rashab, I think the team, Sonder, I think there's so many great things that they have done. But I have to say your tweets that continually bring in the vein, what does Fermat do, etc. I think we've all seen and we've all enjoyed. What is the status of your relationship with Fermat?
I mean, I can't speak for them. Like I enjoy making the memes because they always do well. Like if I were to take a meme and I were to sub out Fermat and do like any other brand, it goes nowhere. Like any other company, any other SaaS, it just dies. But anytime you put them in a tweet, just because it's such a long running joke. And by the way, I didn't come up with the joke. Like Sean Frank of
is it Sean?
He
Oh,
was
wow.
one of the first people to make that joke.
He's the maker of the meme.
Exactly. I took that joke and I just, drove it into the ground basically. But it's been running for so long that like now if I could just quote tweet something and just say Vermont and it would probably get a few thousand views. So that's kind of my motivation where I'm like, man, like as long as people are liking it, like I'm going to keep doing it. I can't really speak for them. I'm sure it brings some eyeballs. I'm sure it's booked some calls for some people that used to be on the marketing team. I think they thought it was funny. But yeah, we'll see going into this year if it has staying power. I'm going to have new material.
What's hilarious is the thought that you might come up for their branded search. You know
That's
what I mean?
hilarious.
Like they're pulling metrics and they keep seeing you because you keep tweeting about it. And so then maybe there's backlinks that are pushing back. And so I think it's all good stuff that you're doing, which is hilarious that you're just like, you're giving them this spillover effect, which is awesome. I love that.
I'll say this. When you tweet about them, I remember them.
I
And
think
I think about them. And I think
here.
the biggest challenge for any B2B SaaS company is having their potential buyers remember they exist. I think that's the potential. I think that's the biggest problem every one of us face. So my personal take, I think you're doing a great job in the sense of you're reminding us all, hey, Vermont exists and they can probably do some awesome things for me. If I was going to articulate what Vermont does, and this was a couple of years ago now, but I would have articulated as custom funnels, customize everything from click to cart to checkout without having to touch my code, make it easy per persona, per ad, 1,000 iterations. That's my take, on,
Pretty good, man. They should hire you.
Hey. I'll take it. I'll take it. But that's, I'm sure they do more now. That was, call it 18 months ago or so.
Sure.
Zain, if people are discovering you for the first time here as they listen to my voice, where should they find you? Where should they follow you? What should they do next if they want to get started on TikTok Shop? Tell people where to find you.
Yeah, for sure. So if you're looking for the Vermont memes, you're looking for the memes, you want to be entertained, then you can follow me on Twitter. It's at NotZaneAgain. And then if you're looking for something more serious, you wanna chat about TikTok Shop, you can find me on LinkedIn or you can email me. My email is Zain, ZAIN @ZAINITH.agency. And we can always hop on and see if TikTok Shop's a good fit or if it's not really worth it at this time.
Awesome. We appreciate having you on the show, big brother. Everybody, let's give Zain a big round of applause. Thank you, sir.
Thanks for having me, guys. It was fun.
We will have you back again soon, especially as more banger memes come our way. They surprise, they delight. My take is that overall net benefit for anyone that Zain might meme.
My favorite is when he did the world if people knew what Vermont did, and it was showing this futuristic photo of like everything working and like flying cars and this amazing future. And I was like, this guy doesn't miss. It's just so good. It's just every time.
I had to push my microwave because my sides were literally hurting. The guy is hilarious. And by the way, how about Comfort doing $10 million per month on TikTok Shop? Is that real?
That's a lot of dinero.
That's a lot of dinero. That is serious. That is so sick. It's serious dinero. And, I think there might be some other people that would argue, no, luxury, higher point price items can work. I'd like to have some others to talk on about TikTok Shop simply because I know it's not my specialty. It's not my specialty. I want it to be my specialty. Very interesting conversation. Speaking of focus, Carson, I'm moving forward to postscript here. Zain, he's focused. He's focused on making memes and largely talking about Vermont on the internet. Postscript is also very focused. When it comes to SMS marketing, I don't think there's a better platform out there. quite seriously. And I mean, from my own personal experience, there's only one SMS partner that's going to tell you we aim to make SMS your number one revenue generator, not just give you a good enough service that you hopefully don't quit us and we'll sign you into a long contract and please stay with us. No, 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 my friends. I remember President of Postscript, Alex Beller himself telling me, Chris, we're going to make SMS number one. That's our goal, big boy. Big undertaking. I want to tell you this. Within a year's time, we moved over to Postscript at the time. This was a couple years ago now. We moved over to Postscript within a year. Within 12 months, we had in the top 1%, qualitatively, quantitatively, revenue, positive marks everywhere. We had top 1% account on their entire platform. SMS nearly doubled in revenue for us. Fantastic. If you're looking for extra dollars this year as you scale, as ad costs rise, you need to talk to our friends at Postscript. Go to postscript.io/SMS-benchmarks. What that's going to do is give you insight into my business, my category, my revenue level, what's normal, what should I be doing for SMS. You go there, get that information. You're going to get a great view of the landscape in general. And then you go talk to Postscript. You tell them Chris and Colin sent you. Watch revenue go up, happiness go up, sadness go down. That's in your future. Thanks to our partners at Postscript. Colin, well, let me ask Carson. Josh is not here yet, correct? We've got a little time to chop it up. Is that the case, Carson?
Yeah, he's not here.
Okay, good. You know, there was something incredible that happened over the weekend. So much news happened over the weekend. And one that particularly stuck out to me, Carson, I'm moving forward to Nike here. One that particularly stood out to me, Nike makes world history again for the second time in 2 weeks. Global landscape changing moments in which Nike's product is there. One might wonder if it was on purpose. So ubiquitous. Be Nike, be everywhere, all in one place, in every place, at every time. This is a tweet from Trung Fan. Nike's marketing department is having a wild year so far. The Maduro tracksuit instantly sold out. Here, amidst Iran's revolutionary protests, the placing of the iconic old school style Iranian flag and what happens to be there on top as the iconic photo is taken and the man is placing the flag. Of course, some Nike shoes just happen to be there. Of course, not a political show, but I find this incredible. It makes me want to be Nike and just basically be everywhere all at one time. Just need a few 5 or 6 decades of success to do it, I suppose. Colin, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think they're getting extremely lucky this year. I don't think they're executing that well. You could look at the Carson, if you want to pull up the 5-year on their stock price, you can see how the actual company is doing. And I think they're starting to miss the mark a bit. Some incumbents have come into the space and kind of eaten their lunch a bit. Talk about OnCloud, a few other folks. I think the marketing team has gotten extremely lucky this year with these breaks. This past week, the main flagship Soho location in New York City closed down.
Oh,
I don't think they know exactly what the direction they should be taking in. Yeah, this is the past 5 year. So I think as a company, they're getting these moments, they're getting these, shots on goal. And it's them not really kind of grabbing the bull by the horns and taking this to a home run level. I think they've missed a step, unfortunately. And you can see the incumbents kind of winning in this space and seeing some great stuff happening from other folks.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, I suppose.
Yeah.
I would say, probably if I was in that marketing department and I was working on my resume right now, maybe some people are going to be working on their resumes if the stock price, like you said, continues If I was in the marketing department right now, I'd probably try to find a way to include that in there. I was a part of what was happening at Nike at this time when we made world news twice in 1 week.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's better be lucky than good. As a marketer, you're in the midst of the totem pole inside of your business. You only got so many levers that you can pull. You've only got so many things that you can be responsible for. You got to bet on the right horse, and you got to take your notches on the belt when you can. Let's just go and do this now, actually, while we're here live. Bold prediction. Colin, what do you think is the likelihood Nike is included in world history making moments again within the first 6 months of 2026? What would you rate that? I mean, they're batting 2 for 2 right now.
Yeah, probably 100%, but not for the reason that you would probably think. It's the total volume of product that they have out in the world that already allows so many shots on goal. So they've been around for forever at this point. And so the total number of Nike swooshes that are out in the world just ready to be photographed, and probably with a world moment, you just increase that percentage delta of the possibility. Whereas someone like OnCloud is a little bit newer of a company, and so you only have so many on logos out in the world for that actual world defining moment or photo.
Well, I think that 100% likelihood. Let's just go ahead and check market, and let's check back in 6
Yeah.
months. What's the
Sure.
likelihood? Right now, our bet is 100%. And for success in 2026, here's the key, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to get featured on every newspaper and on every website and on every channel, especially every 24 hours, 7 days a week news channel, all you have to do is start a business 5 or 6 decades ago. And if you start your business 5 or 6 decades ago and you sell a lot of stuff, there's a very good chance that
There you go.
your stuff will be featured in iconic photographed moments in world history 5 or 6 decades later. So start planning now. Okay.
Yeah.
It's 2026. We'll fast forward to 2075. What's happening on the global stage? It's you and it's your product. You just got to start global domination now. Forget the stock price. Start working for 50 years in the future right now.
There you go.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. I want to move forward to scaling here with confidence, Carson. I'm talking about AMP. I'm talking about our partners, AMP. What an incredible opportunity they afford us all. You know, in order to have that success 50 some odd years down the line, having your products featured in every history making moment, one has to be able to scale with confidence now. Is that right? I think so, Chris. You're right. One has to be able to know their numbers easily all in one place. Your CAC, your LTV, what's happening on this platform and that. You know, common problem is that everybody's got their spreadsheets every which where and which way. You need to report to boss man. You need to report to leadership. You don't know what to tell them. Or maybe you can tell them your view, but somebody else has got a different view. They've got a different LTV calculation they're working on. When you use our partners AMP platform, especially their tool Lifetimely, that's my favorite. What it allows you to do is bring everything that everybody in the company wants to know all in one easy place and space for you to see, for a boss man to see, for everyone to see. And it allows you to scale with confidence. Say it with me, scale with confidence. If you want to scale with confidence in 2026, you need to go to useamp.com. I don't know how you do this, but you tell them that Chris and Colin sent you and give yourself the ability to be bragged on by your boss. Chris, that was a great move. Every question I want to know, board level reporting, it's right here, right now. You are my warm blanket of confidence. I want to give you a raise. That's in your future. Go to useamp.com. Scale with confidence in 2026. Colin, we've got a very exciting young man who has joined us. I would call him the Gary V of Street Talk interviews. When I think of him, I think of the emoji lightning bolt. That's what I think of. And he, like me, I know that he is a partaker of the wonderful gift God has given us called caffeine.
Yeah.
I'd like everybody to welcome our good friend Josh Suggs to the show. Get on in here.
What's going on, guys? Cracking open the caffeine as we speak.
Yes, you and me both, brother. You know,
Let's go.
I got a 24 case of
Wow.
Ghost energy drinks yesterday at Costco so that I could be like you, my man.
Let's go.
I wanted to match your energy.
You know, I was thinking
Josh.
about taking this from the street, but I decided it was going to be a little bit loud. So I
All right. Well, hey, if you had taken it from the street, I would have been even more impressed. Josh, tell us about a day in your life. I know you're in New York City. You're walking 20 miles a day. Just give us perspective for everybody what you're doing at Street Talk every day.
So at Street Talk, me and 40 other Street Talkers are running around every single major city across America, interviewing people, thousands of people a week about your favorite consumer brands. We then clip up those testimonials from your demographic, from these strangers, and we give it to brands to run for paid ads.
That's so sick. I had no clue that there was 40 of you. You're telling me you have reproduced yourself and there are 40 mini Joshes out there doing what you do.
There's Josh's, there's a lot of, I'd say like 70% female, honestly, females always perform better on the street. But yeah, for the first year of Street Talk, it was just me. I filmed 7,500 stream views myself, dropped out of college, slept on my friend's couch for 2.5 months, and just ran around New York with the microphone every single day. And then slowly but surely, I realized that I wasn't scalable and that I was basically driving a car and all these people wanted rides. It wasn't how fast I could drive the car. I needed more cars. So we have 55 people on the Street Talk team now. And yeah, we're in 5 major cities and growing quickly.
Wow. That's crazy. That's crazy. And tell us, Josh, what kind of brands are you working with? Man, are they big, small, everything in between, enterprise, anyone and everywhere? What kind of brands are you working with?
Anywhere from enterprise to honestly a lot of small and medium-sized consumer brands as well. We have our pricing structure does vary, but anywhere from Perplexity, Monopoly board games, Groons, Dr. Squatch, Ridgewall, Everyday Dose, David, Creatine gummies, Prize Picks, Perplexity, to some smaller ecom brands that maybe you've heard of, maybe you haven't. But yeah, we have some incredible clients, and we've had some insane results. We were Prize Picks top performing ads over the entire Q4, which was just insane for us. I mean, we were growing so quickly, and our ads were crushing so much. 12 months after the start of the agency, the Wall Street Journal actually reached out to us and put us on the cover of the CMO Today section of kind of being the next thing in advertising.
Whoa, that is incredible. That's incredible.
That's crazy. Josh, you've done over, I think, 4,000 interviews. You said. I would love to hear 7,000. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I would love to hear. I know you got a couple wild stories, some crazy interview stories. Maybe you could drop some gems on some stuff where you're like, when we just did that, I can't even believe that we just did that, and I felt like that.
Don't hold back, Josh. He's gone, but he'll return.
He's gone. Okay, I think
don't hold back on those stories, though. Give us those stories.
Totally. So a few stick out to me when people ask me these questions. A few stick out to me. Number one is, I think it was 2 weeks after I started, like 10 days, 2 weeks, something like that. It was for, you guys are on Twitter, NotZaneAgain, Zain, TikTok shop agency, the memer on Twitter.
Right.
He was actually one of my first clients, and I was going out to film content for his brand. And I was walking around Washington Square Park, and I had one AirPod in. I was like taking my other AirPod out. I was about to go start talking to people, and I had the product in my hand, and out of nowhere, I just got rocked in the face by a couple right here by a homeless guy who was clearly on drugs. Like, he didn't know what planet he was on, but I was like getting warmed up. I just finished my Celsius. I was getting fired up. And then I didn't see him out of my peripheral. I didn't see, he was like walking behind me. He kind of been like following us for like a few feet. And then he just clocked me. And I went down. And you can ask Zain, not only did I deliver the videos that day, I actually got him James Charles in the street interview, got him an ad with James Charles
Whoa.
an hour later. So not only did I keep going, I got him one of the best ads people ever had.
That is incredible. That's the kind of commitment. That's the
Yeah.
kind of commitment you get when you
That's
work
passion.
with Josh Suggs at Street Talk.
Yes.
Wow.
And then I would say the other thing that sticks out is our biggest problem. Last winter, I just dropped out of college. I was running around the park myself, which is like a videographer, and then I got cold. It was like 5 degrees in New York, and nobody wanted to talk to me because it was like cold and no one was outside. No one was in the park. And I was like, shit. I was like, what do I do now? And at the time, I didn't really sell like long retainers, so people were like buying packages at the time. Like it wasn't like super heavy MRR. People were just buying packages of street interviews, and I was churning, and I was like, fuck, like no one wants me in a winter jacket. I had no employees. There's no real business, and I was really stressed. So what did I do? I went down to the subway, and we did subway interviews. And I would run up and down the subway cars, interview people in the subway in a t-shirt, and they crushed.
Wow. You know what I taste right now as we're talking? Just raw commitment and obsession.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Energy.
Dedicated to the craft.
Dedicated to the craft. Well,
yeah.
What I think, number one, I think it takes somebody like you who is really becoming the face of this style of ad, number one, for everyone in the industry to see like, hey, this is a thing that I should be doing. I think it takes somebody like you to really blaze that path. Number two, I think once you do get that experience, which you have, and now you've rattled off best performers for some of the biggest brands on the internet, I think what it makes the rest of us want to do is, I want that for me.
Exactly.
I want those kind of results for me.
Yeah.
Here's the thing that I'm sure has come up in your conversations with brands, big, small, everything in between, Josh. I'm sure there's been a time you're talking to marketing lead, CMO, you're talking to brand founder, and then the question of price comes around and they might say, oh, Josh, that hurt my feelings. I thought there was going to be one less zero in there. Oh, well, and then they might say, well, we'll just hand a camera to one of our interns or something. We'll just do it ourselves,
Totally.
Josh, what would you say? What do you say when something like that comes up?
Totally. And it happens all the time because in people's head, when they go and think about a street review, think about just, someone walking around up the street asking a question. They don't think about everything that goes into it, all the sauce that I've learned and that I'm able to train my team of street talkers and my team of creative strategists on. So not only do we anyone can go walk around with a mic. It doesn't mean it's gonna be a top performing ad for a 9-figure brand, right? The tactics and the sauce that I've learned from making 7,000 ads and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of top performing ads for the fast growing brands in America is not replicated, and it is trained to only my team. So not only do you have the most high energy, people that can stop people all day long on the street, like that skill set, nobody has. The amount of times a brand has come to me and they've been like, yeah, like we try to send out our head of HR or whatever, or an intern, or whatever it is, to go out and interview someone. And they got an okay reaction. That sauce is trained. All of our street talkers go through 2 weeks of training on how to stop people, how to get them excited, and how to get strangers to perform on camera, which is a really hard tactic. 2 is the creative strategy. Street interviews still need to follow direct response marketing principles, problem, solution, right? You need to take them through the whole funnel, awareness, consideration, and conversion, all in 40 seconds. You need to make your demographic aware of your product, right? Now they know. Then they consider it by trying it, and then convert by giving their live testimony about why they love your brand. You're taking someone through the whole funnel in 40 seconds. That takes training. That's a skill set. That takes time. And that's what we have perfected. And now what we're selling at scale to the fastest growing brands in the world.
That is sauce. That's craft. That's dedication to the craft. Go ahead, Colin.
I was just going to say, you seem like you're running at 1,000,000 miles an hour.
Mhm.
You guys are in such a good spot right now. I know that you're not thinking about what's going on right now. What is the future 2026 for you guys? What do you guys have rolling? Like what's going on?
Totally. So, I brought in another partner from the largest ad agency in America, Tenuity. So
Whoa!
he is
Whoa.
their
Whoa!
yeah,
Big moves.
Just
big
drop
move.
that on
So,
us.
Yeah, so that chief growth officer of Tenuity, he was there for 18 years, scaled it from $2 million to $300 million a year. He actually left Tenuity to be my partner, and this was in November 1st. So we're coming out to conquer America and be the biggest thing in media. I do vision myself as the next generation of Gary Vee, and the next generation of media and content. And we're content first company. Like our whole thesis is your ads can't look like ads. It needs to engage, it needs to entertain. It makes people want to watch. Attention is the oil. Attention is the currency. And most ad agencies are still, I've never shared a case study or a testimonial or anything on Twitter, on LinkedIn. I just share how much I love doing what I do, and we book 200 sales calls a month just from me talking on Twitter.
Josh, you are the case study, brother. You are the case study.
Walking case study.
And this energy is the case study. And now you got this big player from Tenuity.
Huge player. So he's helping us get a lot of enterprise clients that I would have a hard time getting in touch with. He's sold, over $500 million of agency packages over his course of Tenuity. And he really sees a vision. I mean, you're going to be able to walk through any major city in the world, and you're going to be stopped by a street talker talking about a brand. You're going to walk through Tokyo. You're going to walk through Brazil. You're going to go to Europe. You're going to go to Chicago, Boston, Miami, New York, LA, every college campus.
More!
Every single person is able to make $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $8,000 a month being a street talker.
Inject it into my veins.
Same
Josh, there is something that we have here on the show. We don't break it out often, but I think it is appropriate for you right here and right now. It's a little something we call the make money dance. And I think this is appropriate for both you and your partners and your employees who are trekking across the world to do street talk interviews. And boats, cars, street talk, going up, enterprise.
Let's go.
Wow, that is you. That is
Let's
you,
go.
big boy. Well, I would say this. I'm a fan. I'm a fan. I'm a part. And I hope that I will be a partaker very soon. One of the brands I'm helping out with, consulting with, I'm gonna tell them, hey, if you want to make an anti-AI bet, big brain talk. You want to make an anti-AI bet? We need to go and get with Josh and his street talkers.
And that's what 100%. That's what consumers crave. In 2026, consumers crave authenticity. They crave realness, real human emotions, and you can't script authenticity. Too many big brands, too many media executives, too many CMOs are trying to script the perfect commercial. The perfect commercial isn't scripted. It's raw and it's authentic, and that's what people crave.
Bars.
Bars.
You can't script authenticity, Colin.
Woo!
Bars.
Yeah.
Wow. Josh, tell us this before we get you out of here. We know you're a busy man. Before we get you out of here, people want to follow you. They want to know you. They want to potentially work with you. What should they do next? Where can they find you? Where can they follow you and talk to you?
Go to streettalkads.com or follow me on any social media platform, Josh Suggs. And you can follow my Twitter is pretty much like a private friend's story. You getting to follow me every day, chugging cold brews, chugging Celsiuses, doing street interviews.
Love it.
It's you can just follow for the journey. It's been a crazy ride.
Love it.
Love it.
Well, we're going to be following along, and we hope to be partners with you very soon.
Let's go. Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much.
Somehow. Absolutely. We're glad to have you on, brother. We'll see you on the other side.
Thank you. Bye.
Josh Suggs, everybody. Wow.
The energy,
man. Energy.
He made such a good point. There's probably so much context and nuance that you just get from doing so many of those that you figure out these gems that like framing for questions, way to ask people. I totally didn't even think about that as far as just, shots on goal, that you're just getting all of these amazing gems for interviews.
Absolutely. I think that it's like a moment of clarity. I think it should be for anybody who's had a call with Josh or thought about working with Josh or doing this thing, is that there is a reason why they're popping off best performing ads. You can't script authenticity. And yeah, there's craft behind this whole thing. It's not just an exciting 20 something with lots of energy rolling out on the street here. That's not what Josh is. That's not all he is. That guy has honed his craft, and they're working with some of the biggest players in our game. To me, it's really exciting. And I think it gives us this left and right handedness of what I think is to come in 2026. Big bets on AI, appropriate. Also, big bets on anti-AI, and really leaning into as much human interactive authenticity as possible. I love this, not just for Josh, but everybody in our industry. I think it's going to be big. And now he's got a guy following him around every day, all day, just like Gary Vee did. And he's going to be producing a vlog of sorts every single day to let people in on that world. I think it's super smart, super smart. Impressed by him. Any other thoughts before we move on, Colin?
Super excited for him. I mean, that's just he just dropped an absolute ball on us where he said he's going to bring in a partner from Tenuity. For those that don't know, Tenuity is, I would argue, maybe the agency in the world. Like, it is, if you think marketing agency, you think, okay, this is going to be the top dog of the top dog. I'm going to go to Tenuity. They are massive. They have seen all of it. They have dealt with every type of customer. The check sizes that they are invoicing out are sizable. So wow. They are, they're the big dog of the big dog. And for him to tell me that, he's bringing in a senior exec that's 18 years there. And now he's got this, you have this pedigree now mixed with the energy of Josh. I want to throw all my money into this. I want to give him, I want to give him some angel checks. Yeah,
let me buy some stock. Yeah, let me buy some coffee and stock the office coffee or something. let me get in there somehow, some way. Yeah, there's big things. There's big things coming for Josh and everything that they are doing. Here's what I hope. I hope these videos pop off and even more people see what he's doing in New York City and across the globe every day in every way. I hope he'll also go live. I hope you'll go live, big boy. Hey, don't be scared. Don't be afraid. I know you're not scared. I know you're not afraid. But I take a little page out of our playbook here. We want to see it live, Josh. We want to see you on the streets doing your thing in the subway when it's 5 degrees outside. We want to see it live. Don't you think that would be compelling? I would tune in. I would love to see that. Would you tune in, Colin?
I would love that, just to see selfishly New York City live from Josh's POV, running at 900 milligrams of caffeine going up. And I also want to see, because I know he probably doesn't bat 100%. I want to see some of the rejection side of this, where it is super encouraging to folks that are just starting out with the thing. And you see Josh and you see all the success, and you probably don't realize that he said, 7,000, 8,000 interviews successfully. I would imagine probably 50,000 or 40,000 people have said no, thank you, or 100,000 people have said no, thank you. And for people to see that and then still realize the best in the game move forward in spite of that, that's super encouraging.
Yeah. And how about getting rocked in the face?
That sucks.
Not just a no, but a punch in the grill.
That sucks. To not know it's coming sucks really badly. I don't know if anyone's listening has ever been punched in the face not knowing it's coming. It's not fun.
Yeah. Has that happened to you? Have you ever gotten rocked in the... Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah, it happened in a bar.
That I can't imagine. That is fun. And then the willingness just to keep going. He didn't sit it out. He went, he kept it going, made it happen, made an incredible commercial. Wow. Josh Suggs. Everybody go follow Josh and talk to him. if you want some ads made like that. I do. Let's move forward here to news. We've got some exciting things that have happened in the news. And, I think we need just a little news transition here. Shopify, again, hitter after hitter. I don't know how they continue to roll out dramatically awesome things for all of us every single day. The Universal Commerce Protocol. This is a long tweet here from Toby, CEO of Shopify. I'm going to read it for us. Shopify is building the foundation for agentic commerce. Universal Commerce Protocol, which we co-developed with Google, surprising for me, is now live. UCP will make it faster for agents and retailers to integrate. It's open by default. Another shocker for me. Very interesting. So platforms and agents can use UCP to start transacting with any merchant. Major retailers are already using it. Agents can handle everything from discovery to fulfillment and support things like discounts, subscriptions, and loyalty programs. We've accounted for all types of commerce. You don't even have to be on Shopify. This to me is incredible. Colin, when you saw this, your thoughts, your reaction.
This is why Shopify is the GOAT. This is why they are ahead of everybody else. And this is why they stay ahead of everybody else all the time. I think you kind of skated over the fact that this was done in partnership with Google.
Yeah.
A top 3 company in the world right now as far as market share. And this is a perfect pairing because Google has all of the customer data. It has a ton of ad insights. And you pair that with the back end of Shopify, who has all of the amazing brands, all the customer data. You put both of those together and you have a perfect partnership. This is super exciting. And I want more. I want more of this from Shopify.
More. And to me, I think this begs the question, in the future, will any of us go to websites anymore? I don't know. I don't know if we will. I don't know. Maybe we'll just all be inside of Google Gemini, inside of Chat GPT, doing whatever we are doing, and all transactions eventually, maybe it's Grok. I don't know. Whatever your preferred tool of choice is, perhaps this becomes not just the future, but eventually the now and the only. And websites get entirely retired altogether. I love that they did this with Google. I love that it's already rolled out to major retailers, the biggest of big boys in our industry, Walmart, Target, etc. I find it incredible that you don't have to be on Shopify in order to use this thing. And also that they have purposefully accounted for all types of things like your loyalty programs, your discounts. That's truly like not just incredible, but amazing. Also, this comes in competition, I think, to at least some degree, with the ACP, Agentic Commerce Protocol. Carson, go to this tweet by Benjamin. Let's call him Benjamin. Wait. So Stripe has Agentic Commerce Protocol, ACP, designed for AI agents. They collaborated with OpenAI on it. But now Shopify has Universal Commerce Protocol, UCP, designed for AI agents. They collaborated with Google on it. Both are huge brands. Who wins that? Who wins that? I don't know. I don't know who wins this. Colin, any thoughts on your side?
We win it. Competition.
Yes, that's a great take.
We win it. Competition breeds innovation. It also breeds lower pricing, hopefully. But we want these guys battling it out. We don't want monopolies just absolutely dominating a category. We win this by these companies absolutely going head to head all the time, constantly innovating, and just making that curve even quicker for how quickly we gonna get to AGI. I don't know how far away it is, but every update every day seems that we're just inching closer to that scenario.
Maybe eventually my chat bot of choice, sorry, to just call it a chat bot.
That's terrible.
But I'm that's almost like saying a clanker. Maybe
Yeah,
my
it's a
clanker of choice. Maybe my AI partner of choice.
They're gonna remember that.
Eventually, maybe I just wake up and they suggest to me. They just already know, hey, it's cold outside today, and you're gonna want to buy this from X favorite brand with these reviews. And also there's this discount available. Buy it now. It'll be there by mid-morning. Maybe they're gonna know. My clanker of choice will know. Who knows? But I'm excited. I think that was a great bar from you. Who wins? We win. We win, both as consumer and as seller on the internet, slinging our various wares and widgets. We win. We win at the end of the day. We want them to continue to innovate, compete. Who's going to win? We are. That's a great point, Colin.
Absolutely.
You should be on a show of some stuff about D2C and e-commerce every day. I think.
Sounds good.
Okay. Last story of the day. Creatine, our good friend Ian McCormick, year in review for Create. He is the OG of creatine gummies. Is that fair, Colin?
He's the OG. He's the one of one.
He's the one of one. There have been many imitators, but there is only one originator, and that is our good friend Dan here. Let's read some of this from him. 2025 was a big year for Create, and 2026 is only going to be bigger. 225% revenue growth. It was a combo of consistently growing D2C business, a booming Amazon account, and a new large retail footprint. Went from losing money to making money. Some people who have not worked in supplements before, they may have had some shock and awe here. What do you mean, Dan? You weren't making money before? Guys. Supplements is a huge opportunity, okay? But not an easy one, okay? Not an easy one. I think this is big that Dan went from losing money to making money, profitable. That means there is an incredibly bright future. He doesn't just have a great product, but he's established that brand and that product enough now that it's greenbacks in his wallet on the way out here. Went from 5 full-time employees to 20. Crazy. And look who he hired people from: AG1, Farmer's Dog, Harry's, Smart Sweets, Cometeer. Launched nationally in Target, Sprouts, Vitamin Shop. Added some great business, supply chain, and talent partners. More than anything, 2025 felt like the year Creatine finally mainstreamed. In 2026, he's got new product. He's going to upscale brand. What was your take here as you read this? Of course, we're celebrating for Dan, but what are your thoughts in general, Colin?
Super bullish on him and his team. You can see the expansion. And for context, we went from losing money to making money. The amount of money that they sunk into the business in the prior years was pretty astronomical from a brand side. And so this isn't, I'm going to invest $10,000 and, keep the brand going. We're talking millions of dollars here, where they finally flipped that script and made it into a profitable business upon millions and millions of dollars in sales. That's super amazing. And I think another key point to this entire thing that he touched on very, very small is creatine has gone out of the bodybuilding kind of forms. It's gone out of just the, bulky weightlifter. There's a ton of studies that are coming out for Alzheimer's, for sleep, where creatine is now a positive benefit. And I hope that Dan leans into those in 2026.
I think this is a great point. Dan is he is a market maker. He's not just going with the whims of the wind and catching sail for all that's already happening in the market. In some sense, his creation of this gummy, putting it forth in the market, everything they've done behind that on content, on spend, on investment, he's essentially at the forefront. And now creatine is this ubiquitous, beneficial supplement element that we can have in all of our diets and in our lives for our health and wellness. A big part of that is Dan. If he hadn't done this, then and made creatine more easily available for all of us, just take it with a gummy if he hadn't done this, I don't know that creatine in general would be where it is in the minds of American consumers and beyond. So he's really been a part of making this market, and I'm excited about what's to come. He says here toward the end of the tweet, okay, this category stinks. A lot of people were selling zero creatine. Obviously, his came out genuine, healthy, beneficial, actually doing what it said it was. But he also said that they've got some new product coming forth. I don't know what that is, but excited about what it could be. I think 2026 is brighter yet still for creatine in general, but also definitely Create. In my mind, he's the market leader. I don't even know who else I would get creatine gummies in a delicious available form from.
Yeah. He's the guy when you think of for creatine gummies. And I would love to see this in 2026 where he takes all of these wins and partners with a really great few creators and rolls out a really amazing campaign. Joe Rogan's mentioned it a couple of times on his podcast that he takes Create. I'd love for him to go grab a Joe Rogan level type of guy and do some type of, really big campaign and make it super fun. That's kind of like my dream for them because I want to see them still crush and absolutely just dominate as we go into the future. But I'd love to see some sweet influencer collabs, selfishly.
Just a few Joe Rogan mentions that can't hurt, and would love to see it in a more official way. A few other giant names mentioning him and talking about him all the time. We're coming to the end of our show, but ladies and gentlemen, we got some exciting things happening this week. Bar from Boost Coos, also No Commerce and D2Ski, however you may know him. Once formerly an Austin resident, now permanently entrenched in the mountains of Colorado, somewhere in and around Aspen. One does not know. But we do know that my man lives in a gorgeous place and space, and he's made an incredible product. He's going to be with us this week. Will Boost Coos be brand of the week? That's a new segment for us. I don't know. I couldn't say. But Bar will be with us. We're going to cook some of this up and eat it here on the show. Ray from Scene, custom, lovely, make you look good suits is going to be with us. He's going to be with us on Wednesday. Dean, CEO of Heart and Soil, is going to be with us. We've got a huge week coming up, so stay tuned. Tell a friend, make a friend, share this with your friends, like and subscribe. I want to say thank you to our partners, Postscript and AMP, for making this available. Guys, 2026 is going to be brighter and brighter. The internet is open and free, and there is profit to be had. Thanks for joining us today. We will see you tomorrow. That is the show. Thanks to Colin. Thanks to Zain. Thanks to Josh. We will see you on the other side.